Hello YouTube, in this tutorial we will learn about while loops. Okay, so here's the thing. See this for loop here? There is a reason because it's there. I want you to see how these things are similar in basic output, okay, in a result. See, in a for loop we have lower level and upper level and algorithm how to jump from one thing to another, and then we have operation, okay. So similar thing here. So how to even start with while loop? Well, here we have x inside of brackets, and when you're doing a while loop you will have it outside. So some variable will be 0 outside of loop, and then down there you will say while. And now what's the case? We need to use this, okay, inside here. So this is like defining lower and upper boundaries in a different way. Okay, so here we have that into brackets, but here these things are split like in two parts. Now let's go to actual operation, and operation will be, well, same thing. Let's just print stuff, and that will be of course inside of curly brackets because that's operation. And see this, we have this jump inside of normal brackets, but when we are dealing with while loops, that will actually be done as a part of operation. Okay, so that will be inside of curly brackets. So x in a moment will be x from past plus 1. Okay, and here we will get totally same result. So let's actually run it. Run both of these, and we will have down there echo and one horizontal line, because I want you to see that the result is same. Right, so from 0 to 9 and refresh, and same thing here. So while loop is something that will help you to achieve similar results as a for loop. Now there are differences, and you will run into practical examples when one thing is better than another, but you know, you need to have a little bit of practice to do that. And the weird thing here is there is a version of while loop, and the name of it is do while. Let me explain. So I will put this, well, let's put this in a comment section. So we are not using for loop at all here. Okay, and let's go with do while. So same thing here with do while. We need to define x outside of it, okay, and then down there we will say do, and we will immediately go to actual operation with curly brackets. So every time when we are thinking about operation that needs to be done, we are talking about curly brackets, okay, or parentheses, whatever the term is. So as I said, this is the place where we will deal with operations, and operation is just printing stuff. So let me copy paste that up here. And what will be the way how to jump from one thing to another? Well, same thing, x equals x plus 1. Okay, but the funny thing is that while loop will be outside of that, but it will be totally down. While, and then we will use this down there. So x must be less than 10, and we need to close it basically. So now we will get same results. Let me do separation here and HR, and again we will have same results here. So let me see. Oh yeah, so yeah, we have same results. Now some people will be confused, and I mean confused a lot. Forget about this thing here, okay? The most of the programmers will use this because it's easier to understand. It is close to this in some way. And maybe if your brain works differently, maybe you will like this more. But most of the people I know, they just use while loop and they forget about do while thing, okay? So don't torture yourself. It is just important to know that you can use it if you need it. Okay, so let's go with the normal while loop again. Outside of it, we will define lower boundary. Inside of brackets, we will define upper boundary. And then we will have operation, and then how we will jump from one thing to another. Okay, but this thing will be inside of these curly brackets, and the thing with for loop is that we have this thing inside of normal brackets. Okay, so just don't torture yourself with this. You will use it when you need it, and when you need it, you will get that over time. Okay, so just don't feel stressful. Okay, look, if this is your first programming language, I do know that this can look a little bit weird, especially when you have that do while thing, but that's the case, and you will use either one of those, you know, interchangeably in your practice. Sometimes, you know, you will be pleased more with this, sometimes with that. It depends. Now, this thing is very good where you have some kind of range. And this thing is, for example, good when you're grabbing user input. Especially, let's say, when I use Python, I like to use while loop to get things from keyboard over and over again. But, you know, that's Python. And this is PHP. PHP is more for web development, and Python is more for, you know, general purpose stuff. Like, yeah. So you can practice this a bit. And that's pretty much it for this tutorial. And as always, thank you for watching, and see you next one.